Thank you, Aidan, for this wonderful introduction. I'm excited to share with you today the next revolution in the labor market, the Internet of Careers. It makes it possible for people to claim and manage their career credentials, including verified education, projects, work history, skills, and talent assessments, and choose with whom to share this information, allowing for employers to rely on trusted, immutable applicant, candidate, and employee data, seamlessly and effectively achieving significant reductions in time, costs, and risk associated with talent processes. The world has gone crazy. We're facing a volatile and disruptive job markets across the globe, rising unemployment on one side and skill shortages on the other, the battle to retain talent on one side and the rise of contingent work and the gig economy on the other. It's now, more than ever, that we need to elevate our game and our ability to effectively develop and deploy human capital on a global scale. Companies are throwing money at HR tools, searching for ways to transform their workforce, make people more productive, and improve quality of hiring, developing, and engaging talent. AI, machine learning, predictive analytics, smart matching of people to jobs or career development opportunities. The average large company now has over 9 core talent applications and is spending over $300 per employee per year. But the reality is that although the massive investment in HR tech, nothing seems to really move the needle for employers. And the root cause is that broken data layer underlying the labor market. Efficient deployment and development of human capital require free flow of trusted data on people's skills, education, and careers. Without it, all the tech we have in place is unable to fulfill its promise. But while we see fantastic developments in the HR tech layer, the underlying layer, the data layer, hasn't changed much since the 15th century when Leonardo da Vinci was the first one to send the first ever documented resume to the Duke of Milan. So we now have 4 billion people that are connected online, cars that drive themselves, and appliances that can communicate, yet we still rely on self-reported, unverified resumes and online profiles as the source for candidate and employee career data. Over 1 billion people move jobs every year. Verifying they are who they say they are adds unimaginable cost and friction to the labor market. And this is not isolated to the talent acquisition space. We hear from employers they are struggling with efficient deployment of their existing talent. They just don't have the data. Now, this challenge is compounded by behavioral and cultural trends as more and more people opt in for portfolio careers and divide their time working for more than one employer, take gig assignments, and earn new skills outside the organizations more frequently than ever before, which makes it impossible for employers to keep track of their talent inventory. So together, with a group of trailblazing tech vendors, some of them presenting today, the Velocity Network Foundation is on a mission to fix that broken data layer underlying the global labor market. And with the public's growing interest in privacy and security, our mission also includes putting people back in control over their personal records. So, what if we could turn career achievements into immutable and verifiable digital credentials issued by trusted authorities? What if people will be invited to claim and curate their career credentials, exclusively own them, carry them on digital wallets, and share them with whom they decide to? Now, with the emergence of new technologies, mainly blockchain and distributed ledger, all interested stakeholders are converging to make it happen. This is Olivia. Olivia uses her career credentials wallet to connect via secured peer-to-peer network with her past and current employers, with education providers, licensing processors, etc. And Olivia is looking to claim her career and education verifiable records. Now, these issuers offer Olivia her credentials based on the information stored on their system of records. And as soon as Olivia approves, these issuers sign and issue the credentials to Olivia's device. In parallel, they also write a cryptographic key associated with each of the credentials to Velocity Network's immutable distributed ledger. Now, these keys are meaningless by themselves, but will be used to verify the credentials when presented by Olivia at a later stage. Now, when Olivia will apply for a new job or will be asked to present her credentials, she will again use her credentials wallet to establish a peer-to-peer connection with the receiving side and transfer a copy of the credentials she selects to share. So to verify the credentials, the receiving side, once in possession of a copy of a credentials, can retrieve the associated key that was written to the blockchain and the immutable ledger by the issuer and cryptographically verify the credential is legitimate and was not tampered with or revoked at a later stage. The verification is instantaneous, fully digital, and 100% trusted. Privacy and security are embedded by design. We're on the verge of the next big revolution in the labor market. That rich, verifiable, self-sovereign career identity will be the great transformer we've all been waiting for. It will radically change the way people navigate their careers and livelihood. And also how employers make talent decisions. But here's the catch. Today's portfolio career style of work means that an individual will have several dozen employment and education experiences over their lifetime. So we all need to agree on a global shared utility layer, one that every issuer on the planet and every verifier will be able to read from and write to. One that our HR and education software will be able to connect to, so issuing and verification are fully automated and embedded into everything we do in the employment lifecycle. We need to agree on data standards, we need to agree on syntax, we need to assure compliance with privacy, employment, other regulations across multiple jurisdictions, and we need this shared utility layer to be open and public rather than proprietary and centralized. We now have decades of evidence that centralized proprietary platforms follow a predictable life cycle. As these platforms mature and see increased adoption, their power over users and third-party partners steadily grows. Cooperative partners become competitive rivals. Friction in the form of higher costs or access restrictions comes into play. And overall, the rules of engagement change. For the participants in these networks, this transition from cooperation to competition can feel like a bait and switch. What we need is rather an open framework, like the internet, an internet of careers. Well, this is Velocity Network. Industry leaders from across the human capital management and education markets came together to deploy a vendor-neutral, globally accessible, peer-to-peer, fault-tolerant internet of careers for the benefits of all participants in the labor markets. It's open source, and it's powered by the latest blockchain technology, and above all, it's free. Most importantly, the network is governed by its members through the nonprofit Velocity Network Foundation, a collaborative organization that drives the network's playbook through its executive board, elected annually by the network's participants. Essentially, the Velocity Network is a public utility. Connecting the network is easy and open for all, and its internal economy self-drives and sustain its growth. Issuers are rewarded for issuing, and verifiers still pay for verification transactions, but a fraction of the current cost. Now, you'll hear today from your existing HCM partners and service providers how they have integrated their platform and services to that Internet of Careers, so that you, their customers, will be able to participate in this revolution. Opting in will allow you to seamlessly offer and issue your constituents, employees, alumni, credentials, attesting to their career journeys with you, and also be rewarded for that. At the same time, you'll be able to verify candidate and employee credentials through the same platform, using your reward as issuers to offset your verification costs. So the time is now. Future-proof your talent management processes and practices, save costs, improve speed to hire and candidate experience, and let your employees the benefit of owning their career credentials. My call to action for you: join us as we move to change the world of work for good. Get in front of this revolution and own it. So thank you for listening, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this outstanding event. Back to you, Aitan.